Hello, everyone. So today I'm going to be speaking a little bit about building your own auto grader in Netsblocks, or at least some initial steps in that direction. So before I get into exactly what I'm going to be kind of showing and trying to sneak a little demo in here, I want to talk a little bit about auto grading in Snap and Netsblocks in general. So, of course, in case you're unfamiliar, auto graders, of course, enable assignments to be automatically graded, providing students with immediate feedback. They're quite nice when you're looking at like MOOCs or contexts like those where you have a large number of students, or maybe they're not co-located, and feedback can be kind of tricky. So it's nice when this can be automated. Now, when we start tying this into environments like Scratch, Snap, and Netsblocks, so like lively block-based environments, they actually pose a unique set of challenges. If you're for auto grading, so this includes things like a lack of a clearly defined start state. So like for example, if you wrote a program to draw a square, then you ran it and you deleted all the blocks and submitted the picture of a square, and this certainly doesn't seem like it should be be exactly what the instructor was looking for. Then there are other things like visual program output can be difficult to specify, or it can be difficult to or like for users or for like a teacher or an instructor to specify what invariants are acceptable. Then there's also things like, of course, required user interaction, and of course, a lot of these projects, as we've seen today, can be really diverse and open-ended because largely due to these wide walls that we see in things like Scratch, Snap, and Netsblocks. So like these, of course, it'd be great if these could be present and used in MOOCs, but of course they introduce their own set of problems because it's not clear exactly how you would grade something that you don't quite, that's difficult to like programmatically understand anyway. And in Netsblocks, of course, we have another compounding factor of this kind of like required network interaction. So if you're making a distributed application like a multiplayer online game, this certainly introduces some of its own challenges too. Now, although I was trying to talk about a bunch of big kind of challenges of auto grading generally in these environments, I'm going to be talking today about what if we could just build our own auto grader. So if we could build our own auto grader for Snap and Netsblocks in something like Netsblocks, and then of course enable them via like a URL. So then if I was teaching a class, I could just send out a link for the my course, and then they could just use this and have access to these automatic grading mechanisms while they work on these projects. Oh my goodness, this is taking really long, so I'm going to try to jump into a quick little demo. So suppose I had an assignment like this one, where this is a really simple one where they're just trying to implement like a custom block to just learn a little bit about conditionals, looking at if a number is between two others. It's set up as a Parsons problem. So of course, when you would open it in the environment, you would see something like this, and we could open it and then of course interact with the Parsons problem itself. So as an example in Netsblocks, one of the initial kind of steps in this direction of enabling people to build their own auto graders, we have this a few blocks here. That way you create an auto grader where you can give it whatever name you want. Like I can say snapshot auto grader. Then we can create assignments by giving it a name, a starter template, so where the XML is, and a number of tests. And then the last thing that we'll do here is using one of Netsblocks services, we'll create an auto grader, and then we can just open it in a new tab once this guy completes. All right, so 1 second. Invalid name here, let's get rid of this guy. All right, so as soon as we run this, now we'll see that it opened up another Netsblocks environment. In the top right, we have this kind of extensions option, and it gives us this snapshot auto grader dropdown. So now we can see that since I added an assignment to this auto grader, we can start this assignment number 2 between that we just created, again, using these blocks that I just showed. And when I open the assignment, we can see that it gives us a custom block, the same assignment that we saw before. But now when we check down here, since we opened this assignment, we can also grade it using the tests that were defined here. So like is 1 between 1 and 3, that should be true, and things like that. So we can give a whirl, or give this a whirl, by doing something as simple as, well, let's just return true for everything, rerun it, and now I can see that 4 out of our 5 test cases pass. So that's not too shabby. That's a B, right? Okay. Anyway, now if we wanted to see a little bit more about the failing test, of course, we could click on it and then see what block is actually failing. And then we could actually start exploring and debugging here. So now with my 0 seconds remaining, I'd be happy to hear other people's thoughts and feedback. I mean, it's still pretty experimental, but one of the things that I wanted to look for or work toward was this idea of having some capabilities for people to create and share maybe auto graders to help with things like SNAP and NetsBox curriculum, because it seems like these kind of things should be helpful for adoption in classes, and of course give you more options when you're looking at a MOOC that's using something like SNAP or NetsBox, because there's nothing wrong with qualitative assessment, but it's nice to be able to have some more options here. So it'd be great if we could push a little bit further on this as well. With that, I think that concludes my presentation, and I hope if anyone has any questions or comments, reach out in the forum or when we have this Q&A time in a minute. Thank you.